Hey guys, Dave here with the video lesson for Lucas Graham, 7 years. This lesson is mostly aimed at students of Brighton and Hove guitar lessons who've been doing 7 years in class, but I'm going to try and make it really clear so that hopefully anybody who hasn't done this lesson with me already can just follow it and just get straight involved. Alright, so first of all, Lucas Graham, 7 years. We're going to be using a capo. If you're not familiar with a capo, it's one of these puppies, and it allows us to change the key of the guitar. So Lucas Graham, for example, this song, we're going to be using chords like E minor. Hopefully you can see that very clearly. E minor, which most people will know, it's a really basic chord. We're going to be doing G, we're going to be doing C, we're actually going to do C major 7 and D, but the key of the song is actually totally different. If we were to play those chords without a capo, we'd have to do it here, like a G minor with a bar, which a lot of people obviously don't want to do. We'd have to do a bar there, and a bar like that, which would be quite a horrible way to play it, and it just makes a lot of sense to just use the capo. Now, when you put a capo on, sometimes it can make, that actually sounds okay, but it can make the guitar go a little out of tune. So make sure you have a little tune up. It's okay to tune up when the capo's on, and give it a little wiggle sometimes. Sometimes the strings get a little bit bent, so just make sure they're all straight. Otherwise you get some really weird catching noises. But I think we're all right, so we're going to get started. Okay, so the first part of the song, which is played on piano, is the intro. Now, for my students who have done their G major scale, that's this one, using the G major chord shape. We're doing that at level 2. So if you've done that and you remember it, then you might notice that it's the same scale shape for this intro. We're doing, that top E string's a little caught. I'm just going to try and sort that out. Yes, this intro is built off the same scale shape that we're doing at level 2, G major scale. So what we're doing is I'm going to show you the whole part, and then I'll break it down for you. So we've got, so what's happening here is basically we're starting on the 3rd fret on the top E string. When I'm saying frets now, I'm talking about after the capo. Okay, after the capo. So obviously in actuality it's the 6th fret on the guitar, but we consider the capo to be the beginning of the guitar. So we're going up here to fret 3, and we're going to do 3 on the top E, 2 on the top E, open on the top E. Okay, that's the first part, and it's reasonably quick paced. We go, in fact we'll do the first 4 notes because it runs evenly. Okay, and the speed that they're played at, they basically take the place of 1 beat within the song. So to clarify that, if you were counting in to play this song, you would count 1, 2, 3, and that would be beat 1 there. So those 4 notes take the place of the last beat of the bar, and then the E minor chord comes in on beat 1. Okay, so this introductory part goes open 3, open 3, open 3. Okay, so we're just on the top E and the B strings. So that's 3, 2, open on the top E, 3 on the B, open on the B, 3 on the B, open on the B, 3 on the B, open on the B, 3 on the B. And it basically does the same thing a few times, and the last time it just holds an open B. So you get, just holding that note, okay? Chords wise, I like to do this with an E minor here, So you're going to probably all know E minor, but in case you can't see properly, my middle finger is playing fret 2 on the A string. My ring finger is playing fret 2 on the D string. The next chord is a G. It is a G, but you can play what's called a G6, which basically means leaving off the top finger. Okay, it suits the vibe of the song, and it also makes it really easy to get these changes under your fingers. So you can play E minor, then just move the ring finger out to fret 3 on the low E and do a G6, and then you can move that all in for the next chord, which is a C major 7. So all that chord is moving the G6 shape in one string set. So now my middle finger's on fret 2 on the D string, and my ring finger's on fret 3 on the A string. The fourth chord that's in this introduction section is just a standard D. Okay, so that would be like. So you've got basically 2 strums on E minor, 2 on G6, 2, 3 on C major 7, and the last one is on a D. Okay, that is the strumming pattern for the intro of the song. And if that's tough enough for you, then you can kind of stick with that throughout the rest of the song. In the verses, it changes slightly and adds what's called a passing chord. A passing chord is basically where a musician will throw in a chord just for like a beat, or sometimes even less, and it just gives a feeling of movement. So in the verses, you get E minor, D slash F sharp, which is just a D chord down here, thumb over the top for F sharp, and then a G. So that goes. Sorry, that was really badly played. Okay, that's quite a common thing when we're using E minor and G. It's quite a common thing because in the key of G, D major is always in the key of G, and putting an F sharp here gives a leading sound. It means that you can go G, F sharp, E minor, or E minor, F sharp, G, and either way it just sounds kind of right. It just goes bum 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 or bum bum bum. Happens all the time anyway. So it would be good if you could work on that quick D slash F sharp. Then we've got a C major 7. That is exactly the same as a C major chord, just with this finger off. Okay, so don't overthink it. If you want to play it with the finger on, it will still sound right, but it won't sound as pretty. C major 7 chords just sounds a bit more melodic and pretty. Standard D chord here. That is the same all the way through, except for in the bridge section. Basically, there's a bridge section. I'm just going to check the lyrics, which happens just after what I've labelled as the fourth verse, which is the one that starts, "I'm still learning about life." So he finishes that verse with, "Some I had to leave behind, my brother, I'm still sorry." And then instead of going down to the E minor chord like he's done throughout the whole song, this time he goes C major 7 for the bridge. So then it's, "Soon I'll be 60 years old." So now we're just using the C major 7 chord instead of the E minor. The passing chord is a D and then an E minor. So this is exactly the same sort of strumming pattern really, but it's, "Soon I'll be 60 years old. My daddy got 61. Remember life and then you're..." This is the first time now at this point that we introduce a different chord, and it's B minor. Now some of you guys are going to struggle with B minor a bit. It's a bit of a step up in terms of ability, but believe me, once you've done it a few times, it's going to feel completely natural. B minor is essentially A minor, just up a tone. But because we're moving it up, kind of like what we did with the capo, we have to make all the open strings move up too. So we do a bar, okay? Right, now some of you guys are going to really struggle with that bar shape, but if you want to look at it, I recommend that the top of this finger should be just below or just touching the low E string. And although lots of people think that bar chords are flat, that's not actually strictly true. We tend to angle on the outside of the finger, this edge. Sorry, you probably can't see this edge here. So I lean the edge in, because the flatter the finger, you can't generate a lot of strength. You want to get a really good pinch on the edge of the finger. And then here, these ones are going to go on straight. That's going to feel really weird at first, because anytime we have to do different things with different fingers, always feels a bit weird at first. So we're going to be on the edge of this finger, and these ones are going to be on the tips as normal. Okay, and that gets you a really clear A and B minor chord. And that's on fret 2. So our bar is on fret 2 and our A minor shape straight after it. Okay, if you can't get the hang of a bar chord yet, don't worry, because as your hand gets stronger, you'll be able to really generate that pinch. For now, what you can do is do an A minor, but switch the fingers around. Instead of doing an A minor like that, I'm just going to move back so I can see what I'm doing a bit better. Instead of doing an A minor like that, sorry, that sounds horrible. Instead of doing an A minor with those fingers, let's switch them around. So you're doing an A minor with the middle finger, the ring finger and the little finger, which gets you most of the B minor chord. But if you play it like that, it's very nice, but it's not right. So what we need to do is we either have the bar, or we can just put a finger down here and just play from the D string. If you include the A string, it's going to sound wrong. It's going to make it a different kind of chord. It's going to be nice, but it's not right, because we need the B here. So instead, just play from the D string. If that is too hard, the easiest way you can play a B minor chord is just these 3. Okay, so ring finger is here on the G string on the 4th fret, middle finger is here on the B string on the 3rd fret, and the first finger is on the top E string on the 2nd fret. Okay, so you can do it like that if you want to. Ideally like this, or like this, or like this, if that's too difficult. So this section then, I'm just going to whiz back to my notes so I make sure I get it right. So this section we're doing, soon I'll be 60 years old. My daddy got 61, remember life, and then your life becomes a better one. I made a man so happy when I wrote a letter once. I hope my children come. So at this point, we've got a B7 chord. Now, the first way most people learn to play a B7 shape is like this. Middle finger is on fret 2 on the A. First finger is on fret 1 on the D. Ring finger is on fret 2 on the G. And little finger is on fret 2 on the top E. And we're playing from the A string with the right hand. Now that's fine, but in this instance, I would recommend you playing it a bit differently. Because we're already here at B minor, if you can do this shape, then just move this little finger across to the B string, and that gives you a B7 chord. Okay, if you might have noticed now, by moving that little finger, I've made this finger completely redundant. It's not doing anything. So you can use that to your benefit. Take it off and use it to strengthen this bar if you want to. But if it's easier for you just to move the little finger and just be one small movement for that chord, then you can do that too. Whatever kind of works. So that section then, this bridge, we've got soon I'll be 60 years old. My daddy got 61, remember life, and then your life becomes a better one. I made a man so happy when I wrote a letter once. I hope my children come and visit once or twice a month. Then we go back to a chorus, but the chorus is using the new chord structure from the bridge. which is C major 7. So we've got soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is cold? Will I have a lot of children who can warm me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. So here we do, we basically just do 2 strums on the C major 7. 1, 2. Sorry, I'm going to say 3 and then a D. And then we change back to the original chord pattern, which was E minor. Soon I'll be 60 years old. Well, I think the world is cold. Will I have a lot of children who can hold me? And that's basically the whole song. That's everything that you need to look out for. I've labelled all the chord changes, and if you just listen to the song and try it through, I think it's going to be really clear. But what I will probably do is just put the song on now, and then I can play along. Sorry, I'm whizzing through Windows on my computer here. So I'm going to put the song on from the beginning and just play along with all the chord changes. And then if you've got any questions, hopefully you'll be able to just watch me play it and see what's going on, and that should answer everything. But basically there are only 3 parts. You've got the intro, which is that. There's the E minor chord progression. Okay, and sometimes there's a passing chord. Okay, but the G and G6 and G, they're pretty much interchangeable, so don't get bogged down if you play one when you should have played the other. Don't worry about that. And then of course you've got the bridge section, C major 7, which is a really clever part, by the way, because he's basically taken some other chords within the key that do a very similar job. And so he hasn't actually changed key, he's just kind of changed the emphasis of the key, which is a really cool thing to do, and it gives the song a bit of a lift in the middle. So I'm going to put it on now and play through. If you're comfortable, then grab your cap on and play through with me, and let's get going. So these chords are behind the song, alright? But you can...
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old.
So it's at this point that he brings in the passing chords.
It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger, pushing each other to the limits. We were learning quicker. By 11, smoking herb and drinking burning liquor. Never rich, so we were out to make that steady figure. Once I was 11 years old, my daddy told me, go get yourself a wife or you'll be lonely. Once I was 11 years old. Children for me, so I can sing them all my songs and I can tell them stories. Most of my boys are with me, some are still out seeking glory, and some I had to leave behind. My brother, I'm still savvy. Soon I'll be 60 years old. My daddy got 61. Remember life, and then your life becomes a better one. I made a man so happy when I wrote the letter once. I hope my children come and visit.
He's 7.
Soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is rolled up? Will I have a lot of children who can hold me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. Soon I'll be 60 years old. Will I think the world is rolled up? Will I have a lot of children who can hold me? Soon I'll be 60 years old. Once I was 7 years old, Mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. Once I was 7 years old.
Cool. So that should tell you everything you need to know about Lucas Graham's 7 years. It's really straightforward. It's just some of the chord changes might be a bit quick for you at first. Just remember, always be patient. So if this is too quick, just keep doing it through a few times. You know, don't rush yourself. Just do it through nice and slow. And after you've done it for, 2 or 3 minutes a day for a week, it's going to be, honestly, you'll be right up to speed. Okay, call me, text me, email me with any problems. Hope you enjoyed, and see you all in class soon.